Good morning, students. Today we will talk about the next topic, that is stages of life cycle. Stages of life cycle. Here in the stages of life cycle there are 3 stages. As you know, all individuals or all organisms will undergo into the 3 stages, that is the growth, maturity, then the old age. Okay, so here there are 3 stages. First is juvenile or vegetative phase. Second, that is reproductive phase. Reproductive or maturity phase. And the third one, that is old age or senescence. Okay, senescence phase. These are the 3 stages of life cycle of all living organisms. So here the vegetative, juvenile we can refer for the animals. Okay, vegetative phase we can call if it is among the plants. Okay, so here the juvenile or vegetative phase, this starts see, this also known as the growth phase, where the organism will start to grow. That phase is the juvenile or vegetative phase. So before maturity means before they are undergoing into a reproduction phase, that phase is the juvenile or growth stage. Okay, so the juvenile stage, which is called in the animals, vegetative phase, which is can be called in the plants. The next comes the maturity or reproductive phase. So here at the end of vegetative or juvenile phase, it indicates the start of maturity. Okay, it indicates the start of maturity or the reproductive phase. See, in plants, first we will see in plants how this maturity phase or the reproductive phase does it indicates. In plants, this phase indicates by flower. How means, if you see some plants are giving flowers, or on the plants if there is a presence of flowers, then you can say that particular plant is matured or that particular plant is at reproductive phase. Okay, so that phase is the maturity or reproductive phase. Then see, in the beginning, see here, there are some plants like periwinkle, coconut, which flowers throughout the year. There is no particular time period during which they are going to flower, give the flower. But throughout the year, they are going to give the flower. Okay, see here, some plants such as periwinkle, coconut, these plants will give the flowers throughout the year. Whole year, you can see that particular plants are going to give the flowers. Okay, so if they are going to give this throughout the year, then we can say that they are continuously under the process of reproduction. There is no gap, there is no time period for giving the flower in some plants. But in some plants, what happens means, in some plants, just as mango, in some plants, such as mango is there, papaya, then jackfruit, apple is there. Okay, so these all plants will give the flowers only at a certain period of time. Okay, seasonal fruits, what we call seasonal. Some of the vegetables are seasonal. Why we are calling seasonal over here means because they are undergoing into a reproduction only at a certain period of time, not whole year, not throughout the year. Okay, so that is known as the seasonal flowering. What it is known as? It is known as the seasonal flowering. Okay, so here these plants which are giving the flowers throughout the year. Some of the plants which give the flower only during a certain period of time. Okay, such as mango, jackfruit, apple, and all. Some plants are there which show unusual flowering. Okay, see here, most of the plants are either they will be continuous, they are continuous flowering, they are the seasonal, they are giving the seasonal flowers. But some of the plants are undergoing into, or some of the plants are giving unusual flowering, means lifetime, once in a 12 years, once in a 50 to 100 years. That is what we will call it as the unusual flowering. So let's see what are that. Here, some plants show unusual flowering. Some plants shows unusual flowering. Okay, so one example is there, bamboo species. Bamboo species. Yeah, the common tree, that is the bamboo tree. You know how in how many years this bamboo tree will give the flowers. So it once in their lifetime means it shows flowering once in their lifetime. Only once in their lifetime. Once in their lifetime. Okay, see, first of all, the bamboo tree, which will be live or which is can be seen from throughout many years, that is above 100 years also. Okay, once in a lifetime means within how many years they are going to give? That is between 50 to 100 years. After attaining this much of age, that bamboo tree will show the flowering. How much it is? 50 to 100 years. Only during this period, they will give a large number of flowers. They will give a large number of flowers only once. Flowers, and they will die. Okay, that plant is going to die. Only once they will give within this so many years, 50 to 100 years. Okay, this is one point, and this point, sir, will be asked for 1 mark. Name a plant which will show flowers once in a lifetime or once in a 50 to 100 years. Which is that plant? Bamboo species or bamboo tree. Okay, this question will be asked. One more plant is there, that is the Strobilanthus kunthinia. Okay, here one more example is there of this unusual flowering. Example, Strobilanthus kunthinia. What it is? Strobilanthus kunthinia. The common name that it is Neela Purangi. Okay, Strobilanthes kuntina or Neela Kuranji. It will show flowers only in a 12 years. How many years? Shows flowering once in a 12 years. Lastly, when they gave the flower or when they shows the flower means that is September, in the month of September to October, that is in the year 2006. Okay, from that time till now, no flowers. Okay, what it is? Lastly, it shows the flower that is in this year. Now, it shows flowering once in a 12 years. Okay, and one more thing here, its flowers will be in a mass. Okay, it is going to cover a particular area of certain areas in regions in India. What are that regions? Means that is Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. It has covered the what we call large tracts of hilly areas. This and Neela Kuranji means their flowers are blue in color. Means that hilly areas are totally covered by the blue color. Okay, it is transforming hilly areas of Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu into blue stretches by which the tourists are going to attract. Okay, tourist members will be attracted to these hilly areas where you will find totally blue colored flowers. The total hilly areas will be covered with the blue color, wherein that is Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. What is the important thing over here means that Strobilanthes kuntinia, the common name is Neela Kuranji. It shows flower once in years. This is also one of the important questions for 1 month. Which plant will show flowering once in a 12 years means that you can write Strobilanthes. Okay, so this is about the flowering. Then next, this is about the plants. Next, we will see about the animals. Okay, some of the animals will undergo into the reproduction only a certain period of time in the year. Some of the animals will undergo into the reproduction only a certain period of time in the year. But some of the animals will undergo into the reproduction throughout the year. So let's see about that one. See here, most animals are seasonal breeders. Most of the animals are seasonal breeders. Okay, what do you mean by this seasonal breeders? Seasonal breeders means they will undergo into a reproductive phase only in a particular time period within the year. That particular animals are known as the seasonal breeders or which are reproductively active. Okay, see here, animals which are reproductively active means at that time they can undergo into the reproduction. Reproductively active means into a favorable season or into a favorable climatic condition, they will become active. In what sense they are becoming active? That is reproduction or reproductively active only under a favorable season. Either it will be winter, summer or rainy. Okay, so that type of animals we can call it as the seasonal breeders. Some of them are like that and some of the animals are continuous breeders. Some of the animals are continuous breeders. See here, continuous breeder. One example I will tell you about the seasonal breeder. Example is a hen or birds. Birds will lay egg. Lays egg seasonal. Means what? They are laying the eggs during a favorable climatic condition, not throughout the year. Okay, but if we go for the poultry system, or if you talk about the regarding the hens and all, from where they are making them to lay the eggs throughout the year by injecting some of the hormones. Okay, they will lay the egg throughout the year. That is for human welfare. That is not a natural process. But naturally, all the birds are the seasonal breeders. They lay the egg only during a certain period of time, not throughout the year. But in the poultry and all, what they are doing means they are injecting some of the hormones by which they can produce eggs or lay the eggs throughout the year. And next comes here continuous breeding. Continuous breeding means the animals which will be reproductively active throughout the year. Okay, they can reproduce whole year, and here what are the examples here means that is mammals. Mammals in that man. Man is also a continuous breeder. Okay, see here we are telling reproductively active. Yes, sir. So what is that reproductively active means? At that time they can reproduce. Here there are two cycles are there among the animals. What are the two cycles means? That is menstrual cycle and one more, that is estrous cycle. So let's see about in which type of animals you will find the estrous cycle and in which type of animals you will find the menstrual cycle. This is about the seasonal breeder and continuous breeder. Next we will see about that cycles. Means that reproductive cycles. We are telling reproductively active, reproductively inactive, or in that period they are able to reproduce. Means that is related with some reproductive cycle. Okay. See here. Non-primates like cow, buffalo, non-primates like cows, sheep, deer, etc., elephant and all, which are non-primates. Okay, so they will exhibit a cyclic changes, in their reproductive system or in their reproductive phase. And among the non-primates, that changes which are occurring during the reproductive phase, that it is known as the estrous cycle. That cycle is known as the estrous cycle. During this estrous cycle, This cycle consists of, what do you mean by estrus over here means, that is the heat period. See here, what is estrus means? That is the heat period. Okay, during this heat period, followed by another cycle means, see here, if this is a cycle of 30 days. Okay, of 30 days. This first 10 days, it will be heat period. And the remaining 20 days, that cycle is known as the estrus. Okay, this is the heat period or the estrus cycle. The remaining cycle, we can call it as the estrus cycle. Okay, so here our estrus, or else it is known as the rest period. If a couple is undergoing the copulation or the sexual reproduction activity, at that time during this heat period only they can mate, or their fertilization is going to occur. Okay, if they are mating at this time, at that time if they mate, there is no use, there will be no fertilization. Okay, during this period only they can fertilize the, or they can copulate them within the couples. Okay, the next, this is about the non-primates. Next we will see about the primates. Here, see, estrus cycle also will be asked for 1 mark. Estrus cycle or menstrual cycle, this will be asked for 1 mark. Next, in primates like monkey, apes, human, etc. Here, there is the reproductive cycle is called the menstrual cycle. What it is called as? It is called as the that reproductive cycle in non-primates. It is known as the estrus cycle. Here it is known as the menstrual cycle. Here, whatever the non-primates which are showing a menstrual cycle, they are the continuous breeders. Okay, because they can reproduce throughout the year. Here the menstrual cycle, it will be of 28 days. Okay, so first 1 to 5th day, it will be a menses time. After that, from 6th to 28th day, this is a reproductively active phase. During this time, if they copulate, then there is a fertilization is going to take place. Okay, not during this time, menses time, but during this reproductive phase, or except these days, if they undergo copulation within these days, means they are reproductively active. Okay, every month they can reproduce. So this is about the menstrual cycle. The next, the last phase, that is the senescence or aging, old age. Third one, senescence or aging. Here, growth phase, after growth phase, maturity phase or reproductive phase. Maturity phase will end up with the phase that is the senescence. That means the end of the reproductive phase. At that time, the organism will lose the ability of reproduction. Okay, at that time we can call it as the senescence or old age. Means they result in the slowing of physiological activities, due to which the reproduction is going to stop. Okay, so in plants and animals, in both, how this senescence and aging we can consider is this phase is related with the hormones. Okay, if the hormones are completed or totally stop secreting in the body of plants or animals, then there will be no reproduction. That means end of reproductive phase. Okay, so by which their physiological activities such as reproduction, growth and all, everything is going to stop. Then they will become old. Then finally they will go for the death. Okay, so this is about what? About the three stages in the life cycle of organism. Sometimes they will ask for 3 months. What are the stages of life cycle? Only you have to mention stages of life cycle. Sometimes they will be asked for 3 months. Only the stages you have to mention: juvenile or growth phase, juvenile or vegetative phase, reproductive or maturity phase, or senescence or aging phase. Okay. Then next, events in sexual reproduction. Next topic. Events in sexual reproduction. Okay, so here in the events in sexual reproduction, see, after attainment of maturity, all organisms or all sexual reproducing organisms exhibit events. Okay, what are that events? Means here there are 3 events. What are that? Means that is pre-fertilization. This is the first event. Second one, that is the fertilization. And the third one, that is the post-fertilization. This also asks for 3 marks. 3 mark question. Stages in life cycle, events in sexual reproduction. What are that? Pre-fertilization, fertilization and post-fertilization. So first we will see about the pre-fertilization. Okay. This pre-fertilization event, it is further classified into 2 classes. What are that? Means one is gametogenesis and the another is gamete transfer. Okay, so first we will see about the gametogenesis. First, here the gametogenesis. What do you mean by the gametogenesis? Means the process of formation of gametes. What it is known as? Process of formation of gametes. And what are the gametes in the sexual reproduction means? It will be sperm and ova. Okay, it will be whatever the process which is forming the gametes, either it may be the male gamete or either it may be the female gamete, then that process is known as the gametogenesis. See, where this formation of gametes will take place means that is within the takes place within the sex organs, and that sex organs are also known as the gonads, and these gametes are also known as the sex cells or reproductive cells. Sex cells are reproductive cells. This formation of that particular cells will take place in specialized organs. That organs are known as the sex organs or gonads. And see here in lower organisms. First we will see the lower organism. What will be the how it will be? How will be the gametes? So in lower organisms like algae and protozoan, algae and in some protozoans, here and some protozoan, the gametes formed are morphologically similar. Okay, how it will be? Morphologically similar means their size, shape, structure, it will be same within the both, means of the male and the female. The both gametes will be the same, such as here I will draw. This is the male gamete and this is the female gamete. These are the gametes of algae, that is fucus. Species name is fucus. Okay, you can see both are oval in shape. They both have the flagella. They both have the nucleus. Means they are same in structure. That means the morphologically similar gametes. And if the gametes are morphologically similar, that type of gametes we can see. For example, this is the male gamete and this is the female gamete. Both are same. That means morphologically same. Okay, they are known as the homogametes or isogametes. What it is known as? Homogametes or isogametes. See, question will be arise from this also. 1 mark question. What are isogametes? Okay, morphologically similar gametes. Example, algae, protozoan. In some protozoan they had given what is the species of that particular protozoan means that is the Elphidium. In such a species of protozoan, the gametes will be the similar gametes. And such type of gametes are called as the homogametes. Homo means similar. Iso also means the similar gametes. The next here, and in some of the organisms will be having the homogametes, but most of the organisms will show the heterogametes. That means they are morphologically dissimilar. Okay, let's see here. What are the heterogametes means? You can take an example of human. Okay, human means here the male gamete, it will be in a tadpole structure. Okay, this is the male gamete, that means the sperm. Male gamete, and The female gamete will be a spherical gamete. Their structure, their shape, it is spherical in female. That is, the gamete is ova or egg, which is spherical in shape, and the sperm shape will be the tadpole. That means they both differing in their morphology. That means morphologically dissimilar gametes. That means the different gametes, dissimilar gametes, and this type of gametes are called as the heterogametes. What they are called as? They are called as the heterogametes or anisogametes. Hetero or anisogametes. Similar gametes means iso or homo. Dissimilar means hetero or aniso. Okay. The next here. Next topic is that it is the second event, that is the gamete transfer. First we have talked about the gametogenesis. Next we will see about the gamete transfer. In gamete transfer, what do you mean by gamete transfer? Means transfer of male gamete towards the female gamete for the purpose of fertilization. Okay. So here gamete transfer means transfer of male gamete. Okay, towards the female gamete. Always the male gamete has to be transferred towards the female gamete. That process is known as the, or that event is known as the gamete transfer. Okay. See, in algae, fungi, what happens? How the gametes will be? In algae and fungi. See, in human beings or in mammals, one gamete will be motile. As you know, the sperm will have the tail. Tail means this is the motility structure, by which we will call it as the motile. Ova or the egg, female gamete, that will be the non-motile or stationary. That is the thing. That's why the male gamete has to be transferred towards the female gamete. But in algae and fungi, both the gametes will be motile. Okay, both the gametes, it will be motile. See here, this is the male and this is the female. They both have the motility structure like this. This is the male and this is the female. If both are motile, means what happens? They will get fused like this. They will get fused and they will form the zygote. Here, both are going to transfer. Okay, in where? In algae and fungi, but in higher animals or higher vertebrates. One example that I have given, human beings, higher animals. Here, one gamete will be motile and the another gamete will be non-motile. That is the thing. Here, this sperm requires the motility structure for random swimming towards the female gamete. Okay. Then next here, this is about the animals. Next we will see about the plants, how the gametes are going to carry it. Already you had studied in sexual reproduction of angiosperms. In that chapter, pollination topic you had studied. Okay. How the gametes are going to transfer? They are also, the male gamete is going to transfer towards the female gamete. Okay, in flowering or seed plants. In flowering or seed plants, which process will take place for transferring of gametes? That is the pollination. Okay, where the pollen grains, which are male gamete, has to transfer towards the female gamete, that is the stigma, female gamete, or towards the ovules or the ova. Okay, here but pollen grains are not motile. Some agents are going to carry. Okay, what are the agents are known as? They are known as the pollinators. That agents will carry and they are going to transfer towards the stigma that leads to the fertilization. Okay, so next we will continue in the next class. Thank you.